even coffee bars.
Tonight's first intermission report is presented by the new Dodge. It's about change.
And welcome back to the new Dodge intermission report. John Saunders, Barry Melrose, Darren Pang. At the start of the telecast, we said that Washington now knew they could play with the Wings, but we didn't know it was the Moscow Wings, not Detroit.
There's no confidence at all. They don't look like a competent team. They don't look like they believe they can beat this Detroit Red Wing team. They were very confused in their own zone at times, I thought.
I will say this, though, about the Washington Capitals, and we've seen this time and time again. It's almost like playing that great golf course here in Detroit, Oakland Hills. You try to go maybe bogey, par, bogey, kind of hang around a little bit until you get your rhythm. We've seen Washington in the past fail to come out prepared in the first period, but they hang around and hang around. Hey, they're still in this hockey game. They kind of weathered the storm.
That was double bogey.
Yeah, triple bogey for us. Now, Cole Zig was pretty good in the first period. He kept them in it. This game could easily be 3 or 4 to nothing. Washington, if they're going to get it done, they're going to have to do something they did early in the game.
Exactly, John. I'm not going to talk about what Detroit's been doing. I'm going to talk about what Washington has to start doing, and that's to create some offense. You do that by forechecking. You must get in and put some pressure on the defense. Right here, you see the Yzerman goal. That was created by a turnover on the play right there. That must happen. The Capitals must get in, as we saw earlier in that first period. Hunter gets in first. Berube takes a man on the wall. The high guy then has to be high so that the defenseman can pinch. Tenorti pinch, kept the puck in. They got a great goal-scoring chance off it. But unfortunately, that's not the lines that have to do that. The Oates lines must forecheck, and the Bonder line must forecheck, John, so that when there is a goal-scoring chance, those guys can put the puck in the net.
All right, now we wonder about something else. We talked about Chris Osgood at the start of the telecast, and boy, a long punt. This would have been the longest one of the playoffs. Almost sneaked by him again.
Hey, listen, at the end of end of a period anyway, hey, the ice is a little bit bad. I mean, he is very casual with the way he plays the puck. A lot of goaltenders, they'll make sure. What you're taught early, you say, you know, get the pad behind the stick, get the glove behind the pad and the stick, so you've got 3 elements to block the shot. DeLasso was a bouncer, and he just kind of played it off. There's one guy on the Detroit Red Wings that wasn't rattled by that, and that was Chris Osgood. Everybody else gets all rattled by it. He just sits there, moves it aside, and no big deal.
Panger left those in all the time.
Yeah,
you know, the goaltenders, you know how they are. They got to stick together.
Like a union, man.
We want to remind you to stick around throughout the next week because Saturday, 7:30 Eastern Time, the Red Wings and the Capitals from the MCI Center in the nation's capital. The question, will the Caps be looking to take a lead in this series, or will Detroit be looking to go up 3 games to nothing? Osgood equal to the task.
Can lightweight aluminum cylinder heads enhance engine performance? Is it possible to see the future in a rear-view mirror? If race cars inspired us to use a double wishbone suspension, can you handle that? These are the questions. This is the answer. Dodge Stratus. Now select Dodge and competitive owners can get $1,500 cash back on Dodge Stratus.
Metal bars, designed to save your butt. Metal bars, designed to save your skin. Introducing the revolutionary Schick Protector, designed with super sharp blades wrapped in ultra-thin safety wires. And a full pivoting head for incredible closeness. There's no safer shave in the world. Hey, safe feels better. Schick Protector, the feel of smart design.
Meet Frank. Meet Bill. Both men are finishing up cellular calls. Frank uses Nextel, so after the first minute, his charges end the second he hangs up. Bill doesn't use Nextel, so his charges keep going, all the way up to the next minute. Sorry about that, Bill. Get the cellular service that charges by the second. Nextel. You've never used a phone like this before.
8,000 mutual funds. And everybody's looking for a winner. But chasing the latest hot fund won't get you anywhere. To pick a mutual fund, find out how they pick their stocks. At Janus, they pick stocks one at a time. They investigate companies like nobody else and invest in the most promising ones. That's how you get there. Janus no-load mutual funds.
Cal and the O's head north to Toronto to take on the recharged Jose Canseco and the Jays at the Sky Dome. Sunday at 8 on ESPN.
It's a grand game.
And welcome back to the New Dodge Intermission Report. The theme of this game thus far, it's a Capitals team that got more and more confident in game number 1. They look like they have no confidence in game number 2. Let's join Steve Levy.
Don, thanks very much, Adam. It seemed like one of the differences going back to game 1 was after they scored on you, they came after you again in this one, but you didn't allow that second goal.
No, we didn't. You know, I thought it was a pretty good period. They did get a goal, but for the most part, I think we matched pretty even. They had a couple of power plays, we didn't, but it was pretty even, I thought.
All right, it's one of the great passers in the history of the game. A lot has been made of the lack of shots by Washington. Tonight, a lot of long shots on Chris Hoskins. Is that part of the strategy?
Yeah, it is a little bit. I mean, we're trying to get it in their zone, and they're very smart back there. They're very good at blocking up the neutral zone, and you have to just get it into their zone and try and forecheck. And you know, you got to give them some credit too. They're a solid defensive team, and we're just trying to throw it in and do some cycling and try and generate some turnovers.
All right, last thought. How about the nervousness that everyone talked about in game 1? Was it present there in this first period?
I don't think so. I thought guys felt a lot better today, a little bit more relaxed. I think it was human nature. You know, last game, obviously, everybody was a little nervous. I thought a little bit on both teams, and tonight was much more of a normal hockey game, I thought.
All right, good luck in the second. Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, that's Adam Oates of the Washington Capitals. Let's go across to the other hallway and Al Morganti. Al?
Thank you, Steve. Indeed, I'm outside of a very content Detroit locker room. Maybe they only have the 1-goal lead, not 2, but they're happier than in game 1 because of the way they're playing. Why? I asked assistant coach Dave Lewis, and he had one word for that: pace. A much better pace than they had in the first game. And he actually gave Washington some credits for that. Said they established it. We've carried it from there. Of course, the secret now, carry that pace into period 2 and period 3 to another victory. John Saunders?
All right, Al, thanks a lot. Bear, I got to ask you, as a former coach, what you thought of Adam Oates' comments.
Well, when my team was awful in the first period, Tony Robbins always told me to say that I thought the period was even. I think Adam was reading Tony's books.
It certainly did not look even to us or to many of the other ones watching this game. But this is a confused-looking team right now.
Well, the Washington Capitals, as I said, they're resilient and stuff, but whenever you give the middle of the ice to a team like the Detroit Red Wings, a puck control team, Kozlov and Fedorov, and they were making 7-8 passes out of their own zone. You know, you try to keep them on the outside as much as possible, and they did that, but I don't agree with the fact that he thought it was an even period either. I'm a little confused. I thought they struggled a little bit in all facets of the game.
Yeah, without question on that one now. They're going to have to do better, obviously, in the second period of this game. Stevie Yzerman got him on the boards, and this is a bad goal. Kolzig comes off the post. Yzerman cherry picking, 1-0 lead in Detroit.
The new Dodge wanted to take the sport utility concept to a higher level. Enter the new Durango. Its best-in-class power, cargo space, and seating for up to 8 raise the bar considerably. As to its strongest-in-class frame and its stable, longer, wider stance. Dodge Durango, a higher form of sport utility, from top to bottom. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
The momentum is shifting in this one.
Dude, get down. It's my chair. Let's go. I'm not playing games.
Okay, here we go again.
Oh, dude.
He's got him right where he wants it. Just a bit outside.
Hey, those dog obedience classes really paid off.
Welcome to Taco Bell. Can I take your order?
Let's see. 1,000 burrito supremes, 700 Mexican pizzas, and what of those new gorditas? Hey, Godzilla, want something to drink?
Godzilla's at Taco Bell on 4 collector cups. And now you can put them in a cool Godzilla cup holder. Get them while supplies last.
No matter what kind of day you've had at the office, Warner Brothers invites you to join the gang and have a good time. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, Joe Pesci, Rene Russo, and Chris Rock in a Richard Donner film, Lethal Weapon 4.
You really inspire me. Keep it up.
Rated R. Starts Friday, July 10th.
3 of the best soccer players in the world. Ronaldo.
Rivaldo.
Roberto Carlos. Team up to defend Brazil's title when they meet Morocco at the World Cup, live from France. Tuesday at 2:30, only on ESPN.
Well, welcome back to the New Dodge Intermission Report. A trade in the NHL today, and this is an interesting one. The Lightning will get Craig Janney from Phoenix. The Coyotes get Louis DeBrusk and a 5th-round pick in this season's draft. They must have their eyes on someone in that 5th round that they love. Don't forget the World Cup triple header tomorrow on ESPN2. It begins at 8 a.m. Eastern Time with Paraguay and Bulgaria, followed by Saudi Arabia and Denmark. And then the host club, France, will face South Africa at 2:30 Eastern Time. This has been a physical first period, but the Washington Capitals need to find the range and get this one tied up.
There's a new neighborhood gathering place called Reynolds Street Cafe. It's a casual cafe where everybody knows your name and has great fun. This cafe serves Italian favorites like homemade meat and vegetable lasagna, pastas, the best fresh dough Italian and Greek pizzas, fresh seafood along with soups, salads, and overstuffed subs. There's also a full-service bar featuring large-screen televisions. Come for happy hour, hang out with friends, or watch your favorite sport. Reynolds Street Cafe on the corner of Duke and South Reynolds Streets in Alexandria's West End. Come for the food, but stay for the fun.
If you're playing catch-up with your bills, you should know Ames Home Loan can probably help you consolidate those bills and lower your monthly payments. We've helped thousands of homeowners get the cash they want at competitive rates with no upfront costs. One 20-minute call. That's about all it takes to get approved. So good credit or not, call Ames at 1-800-326-2626.
The name's Stein. Lusenstein.
This summer, if you're looking for action,
Blast off!
X marks the spot. The X Games, coming June 20th.
I have a lot of fun playing characters that are impulsive and dramatic, because the real me is pretty basic. I'm even a little practical. Like a while back, I noticed I had some flakes. So naturally, I started using Head & Shoulders. Of course, it helps keep the flakes away. And if it leaves my hair looking like this, why mess with a good thing?
Head & Shoulders changes dandruff problems
Into beautiful hair.
How long does it take to turn the new Dodge Durango from the sport utility with the most passenger room in its class into the one with the most cargo room? Not long enough. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
Bud.
Why?
Oh, boy. Bud.
Why? Why?
Louie,
What?
just say the line.
That's what I'm doing.
No, you're not. You're going, wise.
These are my interpretations of the part.
This isn't Shakespeare. You're replacing a stressed-out frog.
Hey, Frankie, you know what they say?
What?
There are no small parts, only small lizards.
Nobody says that.
I do. I say it all the time.
Bud.
Wise.
Bud.
Wise?
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup Championship is brought to you by Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, the official beer sponsors of the NHL. By Visa, the official card of the U.S. hockey team. It's everywhere you want to be. And by the new Dodge. It's about change.
The city of Detroit has had the opportunity to celebrate a Stanley Cup winner 8 times, twice before, back-to-back years. That's what Detroit's trying to do this year. Win the Cup one more time. Some of those great retired numbers. Welcome back, everybody. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement. Red Wings, 1-0 lead. Steve Yzerman, the only goal in the first period.
And one thing that Washington wanted to do would be more physical against the Detroit Red Wings. On the goal, Sergei Gonchar had a chance to really take Holmstrom physically. He didn't. Holmstrom was able to make the pass in front. Yzerman scored. Ron Wilson talked to his players during the first period from behind the bench. One of the things he said, come on, guys, hit more.
Hey, Nico! We got to get physical again. We forgot that. Come on, we can't run here, guys. You pay a price. Let's go. You and Eads.
Through the middle.
Okay, Nico Bonzi said, we need you
Yeah, they need those guys to get going. He mentioned Nico, Bonsai, and Zed, the nicknames for Nikolition, Bondra, and Richard Zednik. That is Nikolition on the right and Peter Bondra on the left. Without this line producing in this series, it could be over quickly.
Here we go, second period, only 2 penalties in the first period, and both of them were charged against the Washington Capitals. Ended up 0 for 2, Detroit on the power play. Martin Lapointe trying to gun it in, that deflected and came back out the center, and that'll create the offside and an early whistle. Shots 14-8 in the first period in favor of Detroit after the Washington Capitals outshot them early on.
You know, we talk about chemistry quite a bit. The 2 guys on this Detroit team that have more chemistry than anybody, Igor Larionov up front at center, and the guy that Dave Lewis, who puts the defenseman on the ice, tries to get out there with him, number 2, Slava Fetisov. Why do they have chemistry? For 10 years, they played not only on the same team for the Red Army, but on that same famous KLM unit every shift. Slava Fetisov, with his eyes closed, knows exactly where Igor Larionov is at all times on the ice.
Slava went back, tried to figure out how many hockey games he played the other night, and came up with 1,800. He was being kidded by Scotty Bowman about playing short seasons with the Red Army team. He said, not so. Not with all the games he played in the Elite League and then in the World Games and the Olympics. Figures he's got 1,800 games or more under his belt. Martin Lapointe cleared that one through center. Tip pass Larionov. Shanahan trailing behind him. Larionov looking for help. Got knocked down. Still had the puck. Kept it in. Gonchar took him down. Shot saved. Goal Brendan Shanahan. No whistle. There was no whistle because Detroit was changing. They didn't have anybody in looking for the rebound. Sergei Fedorov intercepts. Fedorov looking on the wide side. Washington still changing up. Gonchar tipped it back out. Bondra, who did not have a shot in that first game, got 1 shot in the first period. So he's on the board, at least in that department. Larry Murphy behind the net. Murphy just banged it up for Lidstrom. Lidstrom. Washington completes their line change. Held in. Nikolition had it blocked. Got it back. Nikolition, they got a 2-on-1 down low over Osgood's head. Bondra was set up in front of the net, and nobody had him. But the shot was over Osgood's head. A break for Detroit. Lidstrom on the far side. Doug Brown in the middle, the intended. Berube got him tied up. Brown went back to get it. Gonchar there again. Gonchar's pass taken by Bondra. Peter Bondra coming. Bondra, Zednik's out in front in the middle, but again, Bondra's got no room. Squeezed off the puck. Sergei Fedorov, one of the Red Wings there to do it. Both teams changing it up here. Osgood, that one runs wide. Shot on. Deflected. Score! Peter Bondra! Peter Bondra! Chris Osgood thought there was going to be a whistle. Osgood thought there was going to be a whistle. He stopped playing the puck. Bondra thought there was going to be one, too. He touched the puck, didn't hear anything, shot it, and this game is tied.
I'm as stunned as everybody. I thought Gord Brosiker was signaling for a 2-line pass if Bondra played it, or an icing call if Detroit played it. That's what Darryl McCarty is arguing there. He said he was way over the red line. It was a 2-line pass. It was offside. Well, Jeff Brown is the guy that dumped it up. Well, gosh, you can see. Bondra was waiting near the Detroit blue line for that, Gary. I didn't hear a whistle there either.
Wow.
Peter Bondra just let it rip. Chris Osgood was set, and that found daylight through a very tiny hole. But Peter Bondra looked like he was well over center for that Jeff Brown slip. Now, unless one of the Red Wings tipped it as Jeff Brown was flipping it, and that would negate the offside, but I didn't think that happened.
Wow, and you saw Osgood after the puck went in. Kelly Johansson takes his man down, no call on it. Osgood just kind of turned his glove up as though, what's that? Darren McCarty. What it was a Bondra goal. And this game is tied at 1 apiece. Chris Osgood can buy no piece in net. If it's not from center ice, it's from the bottom of the face-off circle where he's expecting a whistle. Eisenman knocked down by Bellows. Play back Kelly Johansson at center. There's no review on that kind of a play. There's nothing to review. And it counted. Adam Oates takes the shot. Osgood a save. Into the face-off circle. McCarty had it, could not get to it. Cleared out Eisenman. Kolzik comes out to play it. So, Bondra's goal will tie it up. It goes as an unassisted goal at 151. His 7th of the playoffs and his 1st of this series.
And Ronnie Wilson said this morning, he said, our team always seems to need something positive to build on. If we can get a goal like we did in Game 2, then we can get it going. But we're going to look at this goal again. I think there's something that we missed, and I think we owe the officials, really, a great, if not an apology. then a great pat on the back for this one. Watch this. As the puck comes toward Nikolitin, watch him deflect the puck, and he is outside his own blue line. So that's what's really has negated the two-line pass. Watch Nikolitin here. Just a little one touch with the heel of his stick. I think he made contact with it there, Gary. And as long as he makes contact with it, then Bondra is not two lines away from the puck because he was only one line away from Nikolitin. And I think Gord Brotziger must have seen that. Great pickup by the linesman.
That was touched, obviously, and it is not a two-line pass. And Bondra, the right thing, obviously. If you don't hear that whistle, keep on going, and he did. Washington now has got to get a spurt out of that penalty coming out in front. And it's going to be a high sticking call. So Washington's right back in this one, game tied at 1.
It's about time and finding faster ways to take new ideas from drawing board to reality. It's about the search for methods to make machinery last longer or make a long drive seem shorter. It's about making time to look beyond the obvious. And most of all, about taking time to listen. All things change through time. Cars, trucks, and a company.
The penalty is going to go on Detroit. It'll be their first penalty of the game. Maltby gets it.
Chris Simon was set up in front, and yeah, that's a pretty good lick up high from behind. And then to the side of the face, Chris Simon started going for his cheek right away. So Maltby got him once from behind and once from the side. Yep, that qualifies right there. Now we'll see if Washington can get something going here on their first power play. Detroit was so aggressive on their point men. Washington wants to try to get somebody into the slot area because they think there's a big void between all of the Detroit penalty killers in that area, right in the middle of the ice.
They were 0 for 4 in game 1. They get their first power play here. High sticking Maltby at 3:09. And that goal is really quiet at this house. Blocked in front. Esa Tikkanen was there trying to tip it off. Nikolitin far side. Bondra. Nikolitin and Esa Tikkanen up front. Housley trying to hold it in. Bounced away from him off the glass. They'll get back on side. Gonchar. Gonchar taking it back even deeper to Housley. Housley from behind his own net. First power play Washington has had. Power play has been a struggle as they are 12 for 71 in the playoffs on the power play. They're back up to the point. Housley. Eisenman came right out at him. They'll set Nikolitin up in the high slot area. Back up Housley. Gonchar. Housley. One-timer. Ott's going to save. Rebound in the slot. Cleared up. And over the stick of Gonchar.
Boy, that's the right idea for the Cap. A disadvantage for sometimes Phil Housley on his off wing on the point. Left-hand shot on the right side. But for those one-timers, perfect.
They only had one shot, Washington did, in game 1 on the power play opportunities, 4 of them in the game.
That's 8 minutes of power play time. That's hard to do, only get one shot.
You almost roll one in accidentally and have it at least get a couple. They've got a power play here, another 48 seconds left on it. Bellows trying to get it away to Joyce Junot. Came back up to Gonchar. Bellows working in behind the net. Kelly Johansson's come out to play a point. Joyce Junot in the middle. Oates behind the net with him, and it's cleared out of the zone. Better off down low, and now Kolzig has trouble with it at the other end. Gonchar takes it back in behind the net. 28 seconds left on the advantage. Makes the move around Draper. Gonchar into the zone. Junot set up in front of it. Dump behind the net. Oates is out in front now in that high slot. Back to Gonchar at the point. Gonchar shot partially blocked by Draper and cleared out of the zone by Jamie McCowan.
Boy, 2 layers of Red Wings to go through. First Draper out high, and then Jamie McCowan, as all the defensemen do for Detroit, they step up to try to make sure they cut the shot. McCowan got it.
Down to no time left in the power play, so they do not convert on their first power play chance. Osgood holding that one. Back to 5-on-5. Fetisov got it out into the middle. Both teams making line changes here. Anders Eriksson poked it out through center to Martin Lapointe. Lapointe, his pass too high for Draper to handle. Detroit will finish up their change here as Fetisov winds it up. Fetisov, the red, the blue, and in. Looking, dumps it back in behind the net. Larionov on the near side. Larionov got bump shot taken by LaPointe. Save made Colson. Played him behind the net by Reiki. Reiki dumps that one out of the zone intended for Simon. Anders Eriksson giving chase with it. And that'll be touched up on the icing call. 1-1 game. Let's check in with Brian Engblom. Bri?
Both these teams wanted to establish their forecheck early on in the game, Gary, and Detroit has done a much better job than Washington so far. In our Speed Stick Ultimate Hockey Night Spotlight, here's why. Washington's been too far behind. Here's Dale Hunter. Look how much room he has to make up to get in on Bob Rouse. By the time he gets there, Rouse has his head up, makes a nice play, and it's out of the zone. Now, here's the other end of the ice. Joe Reiki coming in to make a play. Watch Brendan Shanahan. He comes in, finishes the play, makes a pass. That's how you score goals and get scoring opportunities. Brendan Shanahan knows all about that. Dale Hunter would like to get in a little bit earlier, guys.
Yeah, they have to. Brian, that's what we were talking about. If you don't come up the ice with plan A, being get the puck in deep with speed, you end up 10 or 15 feet off of that defenseman that's going back to get it. He turns up ice. He makes the play like Rouse did.
Off the face-off, it'll be won by the Capitals. Hunter got the face-off win, a defensive draw. Simon, Berube, intended for Hunter. He got cut off. Will chase down with Anders Eriksson. Eriksson came away with a puck, squeezed up by Berube. Attempted clear, not out of the zone. Held into the point. Save made Osgood. Rebound, score! Osgood kicked the rebound out deep. Simon, who was hanging in that low dot. Unbelievable. Chris Simon, no goals in the last 22 games, has gotten one for the Caps.
He has got a hugie right now. And this started with Washington doing exactly what we've been talking about them having to do. They came to the red line, and they dumped it in with speed. This time, Dale, right there, they had speed going. Dale Hunter, here he comes on the forecheck. Different than that one we showed, that Brian showed on the spotlight. Eriksson had no place to go. They really worked hard to get it back to Jeff Brown. Bang! A big shot from Jeff Brown that Chris Osgood couldn't control the rebound on, and Chris Simon made a beeline for the net. Boy, did he shoot this one perfectly. Look, it's still jammed in the net. It jammed right up under the top. That's why Chris Simon, a great decision to go high because Chris Osgood was still down from the first shot from Jeff Brown. Really good work by the Cap.
That's his first point of the playoffs. Chris Simon, a go-ahead goal, 2-1. And now Detroit has really got to dig in. That goal scored by Bondra changed the whole complexion of this game. When it got by Osgood when he thought there was going to be a whistle. And now the Washington Capitals have taken a 2-1 lead with 13:36 to go in the second.
You know, it looks like Chris Osgood's dewlap is, you know, that protector is hanging off his chin. First time trailing at home in the last 266 minutes of play. You have to go back past the Dallas series to the St. Louis series. Wow. But Chris Osgood, I think, got an equipment problem, and he doesn't want to go to the bench because he's going to have to come out of the game. Yeah, you bet.
Golza got to hang on to that one as it was centered by Brendan Shanahan on the intercept by Martin Lapointe.
Check this out. I mean, that's hanging down. That's got to be a distraction for Chris Osgood right now, and what can he do about it? His only option may be to take it off. I mean, the string that holds it up on the left side is broken, or the whole piece is broken. No, it looks like it's intact. I think the string is broken. If he comes to the bench for an equipment repair, he's got to come out.
Yep.
And Kevin Hodson's got to come in.
Or he'll have to take a timeout. Use their timeout to get it repaired. I don't know if the bench even knows it yet. Simon's goal, the first of the playoff year, third of his career in the playoffs at 6-11. Hunter and Brown got the assists on it, and Washington has got a 2-1 lead in this game. Larionov, Vanessa Tikkanen in the draw. Kelly Johansson cleared it up and out of the zone. And the Caps have really found some life. Mike Eagles trying to send that one in. It's deflected, and that'll get the whistle. Let's check in with Darren Pang. Darren?
You know, Gary, that's a great shot of the neck protector that Chris Osgood has. I mean, the option right now is to go to the bench, just get it snipped. It's only a string keeping the neck protector on there, fellas, and just go get it snipped by the trainer and then go back out, and at the end of the period, you can fix that. I mean, your throat's vulnerable, but I mean, it's better than that thing hanging around like it's hanging right now.
Get Derek, great point, and he's obviously preoccupied with this. And you're right, the good option is going to the bench and taking it off, as opposed to trying to fix it, which would take some time.
I still don't think the bench sees that. Shot back in, and Osgood has not tried to tell any of his teammates to take it back to the bench. Tomas Holmstrom to Eiselman. Cut off Nikolition, dumped it down low. Nikolition heading to the net. Bondra trying to get it back. Also cleared it out. Red Wings have lost that jump in their step that they had until that Bondra goal was scored. Murphy drops it back for Lidstrom. Cleared back up to Tomas Holmstrom. Holmstrom, Eiserman, and McCarty on this line. Holmstrom, and a penalty coming. A haul down by Nicolishin. Eiserman had a step. He got out in front, and he got taken down. This whistle will allow Chris Osgood to go to the bench and do something about that neck protector.
Oh, hi, honey. Am I excited about Thursday? Of course, Thursdays are anniversary.
Of course I plan a trip.
Yeah, we're taking the Orient Express to spot in Thailand for bird watching. Love you too. Bye.
Visa Platinum.
Did you go to Thailand?
For the world of purchase power for the unexpected, including that trip you never thought you'd take.
This was such a surprise.
Yeah, Visa Platinum. It's everywhere you want to be.
Today is a black day in the history of the NHL. It grieves me to report that the most noble symbol of the game of hockey, the Stanley Cup, has been stolen. Please, one moment. What kind of sick and twisted person would do such a thing? Police have no clues except for a sound heard by one of the night watchmen, Doobie, Doobie, Doo.
Doobie, Doobie, Doo.
Drink Bud Ice, but beware the penguins.
Paul Boyer gets the little piece of string put on, ties that neck protector back up for Chris Osgood.
Yep, great pit stop for Paul Boyer. I mean, he looked like he had the string ready, and part of his job is to make sure that he knows what's going on equipment-wise with everybody. Maybe the players didn't know, but Paul Boyer looked like he had that piece of string ready to go.
He was ready. Zednik got the hooking call. 7-12, third power play of the game for the Detroit Red Wings, who so far in this series are 0 for 5 on the power play and 0 for their last 11. The Washington Capitals up by a score of 2-1 with 2 goals in this period. Lidstrom sends that one in. Penalty killers out. Eiserman trying to hold it in on Joey Juneau did once. Tomas Holmstrom sets up. Eiserman to dig out the loose puck. Eiserman had it banged away off the boards. Larry Murphy up close. Oates was on him. Back behind the net, Holmstrom. Holmstrom looking for Eiserman. Murphy steps up. Murphy, centering pass, had nobody there. Fedorov. Fedorov takes the shot. Right behind Holmstrom, who was on the top of the crease. Larry Murphy again going for that wide side to Fedorov. Fedorov back. Lidstrom shot. Partially blocked as he hit it off the heel of the stick. Murphy will come back to center. Minute 10 on the advantage. Fedorov, a little room. Tried to feed it over to Holmstrom. Good block to get it back to Fedorov. Fedorov down low. Fedorov spun around. Tenorti, a nice block on that last pass. In the middle, shot. Eiserman, save made. Kolzig. Kolzig was screened, but got a piece. Lidstrom back over to Murphy. Murphy the shot. Save. Rebound, empty net. Shot over the net. Steve Eiserman shot the puck over the net on the rebound. Picked up by Murphy. Back over to Lidstrom. In. Lidstrom shot. That one goes wide. Never made net. And cleared out of the zone by Todd Krieger.
Boy, the Capitals stayed real tight and conservative in their penalty-killing box, and the Detroit Red Wings were able to generate 2 great scoring chances, almost at will. I mean, without any pressure, Detroit's skill is pretty well going to take you down.
Tisoff will chase back. Only 15 seconds left on this power play chance. Brendan Shanahan. Anders Ericsson's got to give chase at center. Still loose out there. Good job of the Washington penalty killers. Dragged by Esa Tikkanen. Tikkanen will send it back into the zone. Riki on Osgood wide, and the penalty is over. So the Red Wings do not convert. They're 0 for 3 on the power play. A couple of good chances on that opportunity, though. 5-on-5 again. Shanahan. Shanahan looking in front. Larionov couldn't get free. Centering pass all the way back to the line. Jamie McCown. His shot. That one went over everybody's head and wide. Larionov gave chase. Bondra does not clear. Shot McCown again. Kolzig a save. Rebound loose. Swept in front. And then sent to the boards by Riki. Gonchar trying to clear it out of there. They do. Bondra looking. Sent it in. Rouse was back on D. Rouse covering Zednik. Takes him down. Shot right back in by Nicolishin. Osgood will leave it off. And Detroit will get a line change completed. Washington Capitals putting the heat on. Kozlov. Kozlov in. Shot. Blocked wide of the net and up and over as Riki was there to deflect it.
Well, what a chance Steve Eiserman had on the Detroit power play. 2 of them. One hit the outside of the net. The second one didn't hit anything. It got air over the net. Olaf Kolzig was down and out. I think somebody might have gotten a stick on it. But Steve Yzerman had the chance. Holmstrom doing a great job in front, 96 for the Red Wings. Kolzig couldn't even see it. Yep, that was Kalle Johansson, number 6 in blue, that you can see his back. When the play came over to Yzerman, watch Johansson turn around. Pretty good play by Kalle Johansson. The top of the net was open, but Kolzig had taken away the bottom part. If not for Kalle Johansson, Detroit might have tied that score right there.
Forced Yzerman to have to pick that puck up and try and shoot it over Kolzig, and he shot it too high. Draper, after winning the draw, got it to Maltby. Joey Kocur, Draper, Maltby on this line. Back behind the net, Kocur back to get it. Kocur trying to run the short side, couldn't get it around. Picked away, Draper doing battle, Jeff Brown. Brown trying to pin it up because he lost his stick. Koharski not letting them until finally Capitals get down on top of the puck here in order to get the whistle.
Well, the Capitals now have a chance to shake Detroit out of their tight defensive system the longer they can keep the lead. Chris Simon made it 2-1 on this play. A rebound chance. Great shot. High over Chris Osgood's shoulders. Here's what Ron Wilson was talking about right before he scored.
I want to go for the puck. Yeah, we need to be 100 going hard, 100%, 100% of the time.
Yep. Well, Chris Simon has made it 2-1, but remember that line of Nico and Bonzai and Zed that Ronnie Wilson was urging on? They got the thing started with Bondra scoring the first goal of this hockey game.
Strange goal. That Bondra goal right now is the turning point in this game. All down in front in the attempt by Kozlov as he tried to get that shot off. Washington, they're dumping and chasing, getting to the puck. Joey Juneau rolled it in. Osgood there, and he'll hang on. Take a look at our Bud Ice Stanley Cup summary. With Washington up here, it's all for you. There never have been 4 straight sweeps in Stanley Cup finals. Detroit's trying to do that. Detroit's top 4 scorers in the playoffs. And Kozlov for Detroit and Juneau for Washington. 4 game-winning goals tied for first.
There's Brian Bellows talking to Joey Juneau. What'd you do on your day off, Brian, yesterday? Go to Disney World? I don't think so. He flew home to be with his wife, Tracy, who gave birth to their second child, a healthy 7-pound-plus boy named Kiefer. Brian Bellows flew back for this game. So hardly your typical day off in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Owner gave him the plane, said go home. So he took the owner's plane home, and the owner's plane brought him back. And that one ends up on the bench. 9:18 left to go, second period. Shots are 19-14 in favor of Detroit, but it's Washington trying to even this series at 1 apiece. They've got the 2-1 lead.
You know, one of the things we get to do is we get pretty good at reading lips up here after watching so many replays for so many years. Watch Chris Simon as he skated by Detroit's bench. Try me. Any guy, anytime, try me. Okay, I might have left out a couple of words there, but that's what he was talking about. He said, anybody want to try me? Come on, any one of you.
Time signaled drop your gloves there. Nobody's done that yet. Osgood, big save in front. Juneau was there trying to tip that one home. Back out to center, Tenorti, as the Caps have got to get back on side. High flip, knocked down at center. Here's the break in. Oh, shot, score! Adam Oates, his first goal in 11 games. And the Washington Capitals lead at 3-1.
In a big way. What a play by Adam Oates. And what a burst of speed to get in alone on Chris Osgood. You think he isn't loving it? After all of these years, his first Stanley Cup final appearance, he admitted he was nervous in game 1. Boy, he wasn't nervous on this one. Joey Juneau turned around, and Nicky Lidstrom thought he was going to be able to glove it forward. Oates beat him to it. Shelf, baby. Chris Osgood went down, and he was looking low. Let's watch Adam Oates to see if he looked like he was going to shoot low on this one, because Osgood was looking down. Flank. It went flank off the back bar in the net, and Adam Oates made that one look easy, but Chris Osgood was going down, playing low, and Oates made him play. Last 2 goals now, right up under the crossbar on Chris Osgood.
Osgood with a 2-1, 6 goals against in the playoffs, and the Caps already have 3 in this game. And a 3-1 lead here in Detroit that has stunned this crowd. Washington has not beaten Detroit in the last 8 games, regular season and playoffs. Darren McCarty trying to move it in. McCarty back up Anders Eriksson. McCarty centered for Yzerman. Blocked. Cleared up. Out of the zone. Anderson came back to get it. Red Wings back onside. So 3 unanswered goals by the Washington Capitals. The third one at 11:03. Oates unassisted. First of this series, 6th of the playoffs. Bondra, Simon, and Oates. The 3 goals after Yzerman had one in the first period. Rouse sends that one in wide. Gonchar comes back to get it. And a 2-goal lead in the playoffs is enormous. Now the Washington Capitals don't have to take any chances, and Detroit does. Rouse sends it back for Jamie McCown. 7:54 to go, second period. Rouse gains the red line. Dumped it into the corner, not hard. Gonchar back, hit by Shanahan. Got it around Nicolishin. Pass intercepted. Cleared back up to the point, Jamie McCown. Good work by Ricci down low after the interception to poke it away. Pulls it, covers up. Larionov coming from behind the net.
Well, the big guns are firing for Washington now. Peter Bondra had to get it going. He got it started. Chris Simon then added one. And Adam Oates, in his first goal ever in the Stanley Cup Finals, 3-1 Caps.
Quality, dependability, satisfaction, that's what you get from Brown's Arlington Honda. The same reliability you expect from Honda cars, trucks, and vans is the same reliability you get from a dealer like Brown's Arlington Honda. In fact, the manufacturer's customer satisfaction survey ranks Brown's Arlington Honda over 94%. From Alexandria, take the George Washington Parkway north past the Key Bridge to the Spout Run exit. Follow that to Lee Highway, turn right, and we're 1/2 mile on the left. Brown's Arlington Honda, dedicated to superior customer satisfaction.
The Adrenaline Rush Hour, up next on TLC. Every night, TLC's the place that moves you. Gets your heart pounding, blood racing, and it's all real. TLC's Adrenaline Rush Hour. Lose yourself in it. Every night at 8. TLC. Adventures through your mind.
From behind Chris Osgood, here's why I think that Adam Oates may have shown 5-hole. When Osgood went down, he came down with his arms compact, his stick in front of him, and no 5-hole, as if Adam Oates had at least taken a glance at the 5-hole and had Chris Osgood thinking he was going there.
2-goal deficit. Detroit has not overcome that. 0-4 when they've been behind by 2 goals in a game. Their style is to get ahead and then shut it down, not a comeback team. And Scotty Bowman's club in trouble here with 3 unanswered goals in this second period, and it's been the second period where Detroit had outscored the opposition 28-14 in the playoffs coming into this game. They've been outscored 3-0 in this one in the second.
Bet. And you know, we talked on our open about how Detroit has been able to get by without their big guns scoring a lot of goals. Steve Yzerman's on the board tonight. Brendan Shanahan is in a bit of a drought. Sergei Fedorov also in a bit of a drought. You can get by as long as you've got the lead without your big guys gunning.
They had the lead 1-0, 10-1 when they score the first goal, Detroit, but they are down by 2 with 7:20 to go in the second period of this game. Caps trying to even up the series, having lost game 1 2-1. Larry Murphy drops it back. Lidstrom looking for room in the middle. Larionov out there with Martin LaPointe. Shanahan, Lidstrom, save made. Kolzig off the blocker into the corner. He saw that one. Washington a much better transition game here in the second. Joey Juneau. Juneau looking. Tenorti in the middle. Tenorti joining the play. Shot save. Osgood rebound. Osgood another save. Wow, Brian Bellows in front of the net. Just a one-on-one with Osgood that time. Murphy cleared it out. Knocked away Martin LaPointe. Shanahan looking for Larionov onside. Shanahan in. Shot. Deflected off Gonchar. Played up by Joey Juneau into the middle. Simon taking up his first point of the playoff year with a goal here in this period. Brought it into the zone. Red Wings Draper got it back out. Maltby the charges alone. Maltby trying to use the D. Can't. Kolzig played it off the side. Good play by Gonchar, who stood up. Maltby trying to go through. Near side Rouse moved up to try and hold it in. Couldn't. Maltby will come back to get it. Washington changing it up. 21-17. The shots in favor of Detroit. Not unusual for the Caps. Been outshot throughout this playoff year. Rouse sends that one a little too far and high onto the Detroit bench. 6:04 left here in period number 2. Want to remind you of the Classic Sports Ultimate Stanley Cup Tomorrow starting at 9, only on Classic Sports. Bill Clement, Brian Ingram will be your host, taking a look back. The 85 Game 3 Flyers and Oilers and the Penguins and Blackhawks 92.
Brian Bellows just had his best chance of this series. See, Larry Murphy had to give up the blue line there because there were only 2 guys back. That is a big difference when you've got a lead against the Detroit Red Wings. When the left wing is locked, everybody stands up. When there are only 2 guys back, and that is the situation Detroit is going to have to get into now because they're going to have to try to generate some attack with 3 forwards up front. Both defensemen now are left by themselves without that left wing locked up, and Washington is going to be able to skate the puck over the blue line.
See, game 1, Washington had only 17 shots total. They've already got 17 tonight with 6 minutes left to go in the second period. And taking advantage of it by scoring. Tenorti sent that one in wide off the back of that. Coming back, Grouse to get it. Cavs, though, have got the step right now as Detroit trying to find a way to dig deep. Shot by Simon, deflected Osgood. Rebound, Osgood, a save, and kicked back underneath the glove, and then Simon and Rouse go down at the side of the net.
Don Koharski's got at least one of them. He's pointing with one hand. He didn't give him the double pistol, so I don't know if he got them both, but Chris Simon gave Bob Rouse a lick. I think he might send them both. We'll see in a second. Just a second, Don Koharski says. Well, Chris Simon went by earlier and motioned to the Detroit bench and at least said to them, if you want to try me, come on. Craig Berube is out there as well. What happened there? Somebody threw the puck and it almost hit Don Koharski.
Now Joey Kocur is challenging Simon.
Don Koharski wants to know who threw the puck at him there. So do I.
Koharski now coming up ice because Kocur and Simon had to be separated by Kevin Collins and Gord Brusker, the linesman.
Well, Chris Simon is fired up now, having scored the goal with a 3-1 lead. That lets Chris Simon let her go a little bit more. I mean, he can be a little more physical, try to get into a little more. Doesn't have to be as afraid of taking a penalty with a 2-goal lead. That was a good play by Simon to keep this play alive. Then he came in front. Bob Rouse gave him a shot, and he just gave him a straight left. Looked like Bob Rouse pulled it up a little bit, maybe trying to draw the penalty. We'll see it again. Bob Rouse with a shot. Yeah, Bob Rouse pulled it up trying to draw the penalty, and he did.
Don Koharski finally getting the players apart so he can come over. There is Rouse, who is underneath the pile, waiting to see if there's going to be any other call. Simon has already gone to the penalty box, and 2 minutes put up on the board to Simon. And that may be it. Nope. Going to be a penalty on Chris Osgood. Osgood's going to be charged with one along with Simon. Be interesting to know whether Osgood's penalty is throwing the puck at the referee.
That's exactly what happened. Chris Osgood had the puck in his glove. Now, I mean, he had to be aiming for Craig Berube, didn't he? I mean, that would have been a little too blatant for anybody. But Chris Osgood with a big glove, he went to the same school of throwing as Dominic Hasek did. Dominic Hasek threw his glove against Washington. This time, Chris Osgood threw the puck and missed Craig Berube and got Don Koharski.
Did you see that, Berube? Did you see that, what he just did to you?
At that point, Chris Osgood must have been trying to hide. Like, uh-oh, what did I do?
Joey Kocur is going to serve the penalty here. Simon gets the roughing call at 14-11, and Osgood gets an unsportsmanlike conduct. That's what I think. That's what it was.
And you know what? He might have gotten it anyway had he hit Berube.
Yeah.
You know, throwing the puck at a player. I mean, it just drew attention to it because Don Koharski felt it hit him.
So a 4-on-4 for the first time in this game. 5:49 left to go here in this second period, and Koharski goes back to have a word with Chris Osgood, like, you didn't really mean to throw that at me, right? You know, I know you didn't, but I can't let that go now. Face-off will come to the left side of Osgood.
That was amazing.
That was something, wasn't it? Chances you take, throwing spitballs, and the kid up front ducks, and the teacher gets it. Sent back in behind the net. Fetisov back. Todd Krager was there. Picked back up by Anders Eriksson. Up the boards. Riki partially blocked it. Fedorov got it and sent it out. Slava Fetisov waiting for a forward. Look back. Kozlov was there. Kozlov, Fedorov. Fedorov not shooting side here. Goes back into the middle. Fetisov shot it wide. Kozlov got pinned up. Picked up by Krieger. Fetisov gets caught up ice. That may happen to Detroit here now until they're able to get this back to a one-goal game if they can. Their D are pinching more. Fedorov in. Fedorov right through Gonchar's legs. Fedorov trying to center. Gonchar blocked it as the ticket and picked it up. Played it up for Gonchar. Came back out to center. A stunning second period. 3 unanswered goals for the Washington Capitals to take a 3-1 lead in this game. 4-on-4 situation. Bondra got a stick in and tipped it over into the Capitals bench. A Washington win. They go back home Saturday with this series tied at 1.
Hey, Mr. Science. Ever wonder what a hard-working engine goes through? It gets the high rev, and I drove over the mountain because it was their crap kicked out of it. With abuse like that, you don't want to take chances. This is Quaker State 4x4, a synthetic blend for hard-working engines made by guys with more college degrees than they've had dates. It's been tested. For pure maximum protection, there's nothing better. I wouldn't lie to you. They're not paying me enough. Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
Water must be cold.
Our exclusive coverage of Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals here on ESPN. Great to have all of you with us. Gary Thorne, Bill Clement, all of our crew on hand here. John, Barry, Darren, Elmore, Gandy will all be coming up here at intermission. We'll leave anybody else? Steve's here. Levy's here. Who else we got? Larry Murphy drops it off. Yzerman. Detroit's got to find a way to find some life here. Right back in Lidstrom. This is where Steve Yzerman comes to the fore. Yzerman back in on the trickle back. Yzerman cutting to the middle. There's the pass. Tip once, twice. Kolzig a big save. Yzerman got open. As they cycled it around, he was open coming down the middle.
And Nicky Lidstrom just waited and waited, as he does as well as anybody that's ever played the game. Wait for him to get open and then make the pass.
Look at a move by Nicolishin to get it in. Kelly Johansson will take it. Oh, it's good. And to put it off the end of the stick. Washington changing up. Yzerman dropped that one off. Murphy, Lidstrom. Lidstrom's got it. 4 minutes to go here in period number 2. Shots 22-20 in favor of the Wings, but it's the Capitals on top by a score of 3-1. Backboard Larry Murphy. Detroit still changing. Jamie McCown on the ice. McCown over to Koser out of the box 5-on-5. Koser trying to hit Maltby cutting through. Got taken down by Gonchar. Centered. And only the goalie's got it. And he gives an elbow to Jamie McCown. And McCown taken down by Gonchar.
But I will tell you one thing that Ronnie Wilson is liking right now. That takedown by Sergei Gonchar. Remember Detroit's goal? Gonchar had a chance to really take Holmstrom to the boards, and he didn't. Ronnie Wilson has wanted his guys to play a physical brand of hockey. You got to. I mean, this is the whole ball of wax here, and Gonchar just did that.
Got to pay a price, he said. Right now, the Caps are paying it. Take a look at our Visa storyline here in the second period. Simon, first playoff goal since 96, 19 games. Detroit, 97 finals, trail for 2 minutes. Tonight already 10:09 in the Capitals. 3 goals in 9 minutes, 12 seconds of this period.
Our Visa replay. An opportunistic turnover. Adam Oates picked it up. Boy, did he make it look easy. Here's the guy that is known for his passing, but when he gets one-on-one, he shows you what he can do with his shot as well. Adam Oates.
Capitals leading by a score of 3-1. Teams 22-0 and scoring 3 or more goals in a period in this 98 playoff year. And Washington has 3 goals in this second period.
And guess what? The Detroit Red Wings have picked up a penalty on this last play. Kurt Maltby has gone off for a slash. The Detroit fans don't like it because of this play. Jamie McCowan in front. Sergei Gonchar did the takedown on McCowan. And referees have a little more tolerance for guys trying to protect their goaltenders. than they do for slashing plays. Oh, there it was. Maltby slashed Kolzig and then poked him from behind. And really smartly, Olaf Kolzig, oh, he did go for a little retaliation. I gave him too much credit there. He went for it. Koharski didn't call it. But he stood there not retaliating right away until the call was made on Maltby.
Well, with 3:40 to go in this period, the Capitals go back on the power play. They've had only one chance in this game. Short-handed chance ripped wide from the left side. Now they come. Bellows in. Bellows shot. Osgood the save. Adam Oates was with him on the right side. Cleared out by Doug Brown. Power play opportunity for Washington. 0 for 5 in this series on the power play for the Capitals. They've got a 3-1 lead. Detroit just trying to regroup right now, down by 2. Bellows hit by Rouse. Eiserman in on the penalty-killing unit. Couldn't get to it. Juno back up on top. Shot there, deflected in front again. Cleared up. And again, held in near side by Brown. Oates passed back to Brown, deflected to Eiserman. Short-handed, Eiserman and Doug Brown. Eiserman! Kolzig, a huge save! Puck covered up! Oh, Kolzig!
Oh, what a big save by Kolzig. Steve Eiserman just seems to have gas in the tank in the middle of the shift, at the end of a shift. He's going to go for a rest right now, but boy, when he sees daylight, can he take off? This pass misfired by Washington. Phil Housley with a pretty good chance of catching Steve Eiserman, but he was just able to bang into him long enough to maybe take a little bit off of Steve Eiserman's shot. Steve Eiserman here wanted to be a left-hand shot to protect the puck a little better. Phil Housley, though, did a decent job of just distracting Steve Eiserman and maybe getting a piece of it long enough for Olaf Kolzig to set up and make sure the play was going to be low, the shot was going to be low. Kolzig low is as good as there is in the game.
He has had a spectacular playoff year. 941 save, 46 save percentage coming into this game. Larry Murphy short-handed again, pass deflected to Esa Tikkanen. Tikkanen back, power play still underway here for the Capitals for another 50 seconds. LaPointe short-handed. Kolzig. Easy save from the blue line, and Gonchar takes it back in behind the net. 42 left on this advantage. Tikkanen's tip. Nicolaision over to Esa Tikkanen. He intercepted. Short-handed again. And ragged around at center. Kozlov moves it in. Kozlov took the hit check from Gonchar. Down he went. He's hurt. Gonchar got Kozlov, and he's down. Kozlov having a hard time trying to get to the bench. Bondra brings it in. Bondra dropped it. Gonchar save Osgood. Detroit was really down 2 men there for all that time because Kozlov could not get off the ice.
And that hit has Charlie Horse written all over it.
He took a real shot to the leg. Short-handed. Shanahan trying to rush it. Fedorov with him. Fedorov in. Fedorov shot. And another save by Kolzig, and he finds the rebound. Power play is over. Detroit had good short-handed chances there, but Kolzig came up big. It remains a 3-1 Washington lead. Our new Dodge Stanley Cup flashback. Vladimir Konstantinov, the man injured in the accident. Big hits, big win, name on the cup, the locker. Looks like this right now with that Believe stone as the Detroit Red Wings welcome him back here at the arena tonight. His wife, Irina, with him watching this game. A great story.
Konstantinov has just seen his comrade get banged. And that was a good hip check by Gonchar, and it wasn't the knee. It was the thigh. That's why I said Charlie Horse right away, because it was above the knee.
Steve Eiserman in to take the draw against Hunter. 1:39 to go in the period. 5-on-5 hockey. Eiserman, Darren McCarty got tied up by Hunter to Tenorti. Tenorti to Berube. Berube looking right side, trying to get it through the middle. Larry Murphy was there to block it, but not out of the zone. Eiserman had to come back on the hit. Larry Murphy the puck to Darren McCarty. McCarty, and he'll send it into the corner. Wide, Shanahan over. Shanahan taken to the corner by Jeff Brown. In front, Kolzig was down. Simon the puck, though, and he's able to get it out of the zone. Chris Simon getting one of the 3 goals scored here in this second period by the Washington Capitals. Eisenman got one in the first. Shot on, save by Osgood again, rebound loose. Tipped away to the near side. Washington has had some chances. Adam Oates trying to drop it to Bellows again. Bellows has had 3 or 4 good scoring chances here in this second period alone. Bellows trying to clear. Bounced off legs. Back into the middle. Fedorov poke checked away by Oates. In front. Tipped away McCarty. Puck loose and covered up by Colsing. He was down with Fedorov coming in on the left wing side.
Boy, McCarty had the first chance on the right side and couldn't control. And then Sergei Fedorov on the left. For a big man, Olaf Kolzig got down and ready as best he could for Sergei Fedorov's shot. Fetisov just let it rip. That was McCarty on the one side. Looked like he was trying for a deflection, but put it into the middle, and then Sergei Fedorov, without much time, kind of shot it into Olaf Kolzig. Yeah, he sure did. If Fedorov misses Kolzig, it probably misses the net, this shot. He didn't like the results of that one, Sergei Fedorov didn't, but on those shovel shots, you hardly have a chance. You're just redirecting and pushing the puck towards the net. You can't get much zip on it when it comes across your body like that.
He's taken over as the story here in this game, helped out by Bondra, Simon, and Oates, who have the 3 goals here in this period. Off the draw, Martin Lapointe won it. Lapointe trying to turn and shoot it in. Couldn't do it. Good defensive coverage. Martinordi again has played a strong game. Back along the boards, Fetisov did battle. Oates, though, freed the puck up. Anders Eriksson over to get it. 25 seconds to go in this period. Centering pass intercepted. Bellows again. Bellows, Fetisov. Fetisov looking. Fedorov. Larionov shot. Holmstrom shot, save. Rebound came back to him. Back on top. Fetisov shot. Deflected. Kolzig had no idea where it was. Todd Krager over. Fetisov held it in again. The time running out here in this period. And for the Washington Capitals, an enormous second period as they outscore Detroit 3-0. Adam Oates with the 3rd of those 3 goals. Simon getting 1. That was his first of the playoff year. And Peter Bondra the other. And this is a shock Detroit team.
Yep, absolutely are. And the Washington Capitals, I believe this, get better when good things happen to them. They're playing a confident game right now with a 3-1 lead. One guy is going to have to be called upon to make sure they preserve this lead. He is big 37 in goal. Godzilla, Olaf Kolzig. He held him in right to the end of the period.
You protected your face all night. Why stop in the locker room? The Norelco Reflex Action Razor. Anything closer could be too close for comfort.
You know why the 99